Heading out on a muskie mission today, and they often say never meet your heroes because you never know what you're going to meet. And this is a little bit different because I'm actually going out to fish with some people that I've met through the YouTube channel here, going to fish with Mitchell, and he's been a huge supporter of the channel. So I've got the opportunity this summer to fish with some really great guys that we've met through the YouTube channel, and recently I fished with Matt and Ed, and Matt got just an awesome fish out on Eagle Lake, and today I'm going to one of my favorite lodges on Eagle Lake, going to Temple Bay Lodge, heading there right now. I've never met Mitchell, and hoping that we're gonna have a really great day. I'm sure we will. And it's always interesting kind of interacting with all of you guys, all the great supporters out there. And I've said it a lot, but it truly humbles us that you guys give us so much support and that you reach out and you actually want to fish with us and spend time in the boat. So that's where we're heading right now. A little bit of confusion. I was at the front dock. These guys are at the back dock, but we got Mitch and Matt. We're finally on the water. How's Eagle Lake been for you guys so far?
Pretty good.
You guys got one yesterday, I hear?
Got one, 41.
I'll put the picture right here. Hopefully today we'll get something going. It feels fishy today. I think it's going to be overcast like this all day. It's not supposed to get much more wind than this. Not really a chance of rain. It just feels fishy. So we're going to get after it, and we'll be back to you guys as soon as we get one in the bag. Just, yeah, slightly tighter as we go, Mitch. Your last cast is like the edge of the weeds there pretty well. That pike wants it.
The pike.
You see that?
Yep.
'Cause all I could see was the flashing.
Just there.
There, it took off. Nice one.
Yeah. Been a couple of nice fish around this one. Mid-40s?
Yeah, mid-40s, easy.
Yeah, there's been a pretty nice fish in this spot here.
Got about 10 feet from the boat and he... Uh-oh.
Yeah, seen this scenario before.
Nice fish. He was basically running his head, had his head right along the side of the Suick. Almost like he just had to open up his mouth,
And
turn his head to the right and crunch.
Here, Matt. It's floating anyway. He's off. There's one. Trace one too. Damn it. Here, take my rod. Okay guys, we've been grinding all day. We've had chances, and Mitch had one on earlier. It got off, but he's been throwing, what do you got there, Mitch?
Magnum Suick.
Got a big Suick and just flat block. I mean, you just cannot go wrong with that. This isn't a big muskie, but we were just talking about catching big pike and stuff. And this one hit way out from the boat. Again, it's a big pike, so it's worthy of let's having a look at it. So I'll let Mitch grab it and we'll get it out. Oh yeah, that's closer to 40.
Yeah.
So guys, if you're coming to Canada, even if you don't catch that muskie you're looking for, this is not a bad consolation prize on a day where things are pretty tough. So let's get this one back. And then push your nose just towards me a bit. All right, now you can let her go. All right, Mitch, that's not a bad fish.
No, beautiful pike.
That was all a 38 for sure. It might have been pushing 40. On a day where things are tough, we've had our chances. We'll take a fish like that.
Oh yeah.
Let's see if we can kind of wrangle up a muskie. Welcome back to the cave, everybody. And today's Little Tikes breakdown is brought to you by none other than the original jerk, the Suick. And this is a custom pattern we did up for my wife's shop, Bobby's Sports Shop, and it's a take on our silver jailbird. But if you guys are coming up to Canada, you absolutely have to bring a Suick. They work everywhere. We've had tremendous success on them over the years, and we appreciate all the support that we get from the Suick family. And like I say, guys, if you're coming to Canada, you have to have a Suick in your box. All right, guys, so today I want to do something a little bit different because we didn't actually catch a muskie on this day. We did miss one on that second spot. Moved some pike. We did move some fish. I moved a pretty nice fish on a spot. But what I thought I would do is run through these spots and show you why we're going to those spots, because we've had success in the past. So starting with the first spot where we raise that little pike, or the pike comes up and kind of takes a swipe at the topwater bait. That's kind of this area up here. And my wife caught a fish there. I've caught fish there. Richie caught a really big fish right at dark a couple years ago. And here's a photo of that fish. But I'm going to include a quick clip of a fish my wife caught right about in the same area. And you're going to see something similar in all three spots here. So we got mainland. We have some rock and some weeds. 6 to 8 foot deep around the weeds, and then kind of drops away to 10 feet. And in the first video, we're sitting over here with the boat, casting up into that area to that 6 to 8 feet. That's where we moved that pike. We did actually move a muskie a little bit further down off the edge of the weeds there. But check out this clip here of Kyla and her sister, and Kyla catches a fish just on the other side of this area. And after that, we'll talk about area number 2. All right, guys, the second area here is a spot where Mitch gets hit and the fish gets off. We had a follow. It's a spot that we fish a lot. And it's a spot that I don't know that I have a fish on video. It's a spot Hunter and I fished a few years ago. We catch a lot of fish there. Like I say, I don't know that I have a video, so it's one of those ones that it's going back, 4 or 5 years for us, but it's the kind of spot that we fish all the time going by it. Island, weed flat, some rocks off of the corner. And again, the parallel to the first spot, 6 foot deep weeds, and then it drops down to 10. And in the video, we had the boat kind of on that outside edge, and Mitch is casting up in the front, and we were casting out in the back here. Classic kind of midsummer spot. And those two spots, are almost identical. And there's a reason why we go to fish those spots. When you're seeing fish in spots like that, you try to replicate that around the lake. And that's going to lead us into spot number 3, where I raised what turned out to be a pretty nice fish. So let's have a look at spot number 3. All right, so clip number 3 is the fish that I raised. And again, it's a spot that we fish a lot. We had the boat sitting out off this edge of there's kind of an underground or underwater reef here. Tops out at 3-4 feet. And we're sitting out here in the slightly deeper water. And Mitch is kind of casting up to the front, and I was casting to the back right at that weed transition line, and dragged the fish right out of there. I'm going to put a quick clip here of my buddy Matt, Ron, Cindy, and I fishing, and he drags a fish out of almost the exact same area. So again, this looks like the last 2 examples. There's a reason why we're fishing that type of stuff, because the fish were in there. So again, you're just replicating that pattern as you go around the lake. Here's our last example. And again, just looking at the layout of it, it matches the previous 3. We got, 4 to 6 foot weeds. We got some rocks off of the point, and then I didn't mark it in here, but this basin isn't quite as deep as the others. Let me fix this up. But it gets down to about 10 to 12 feet kind of in the edge of this basin. So it is a bit of a shallower spot, and it doesn't have that deep drop. But what it does is it has a little bit of current flow going through here. And in this case, we're sitting here with the boat, just trying to cover, casting around these rocks, casting up into the edge, and then Mitch pulls a fish right off the edge of those weeds. We thought it was a muskie at first, turned out to be a really nice pike. But the reason I want to show you guys this is that we're going there obviously looking for a muskie. And a few years ago, I was fishing with my buddy Michael Grant. We're fishing this exact same spot, and he caught this 48-inch fish right here. And it just shows that a good fish spot is a good fish spot. And on a lake like Eagle, they're not always going to be there. They move around a little bit. They'll move off a spot, go out into the basin, maybe go into deeper water, move to an adjacent spot. All right, guys, that's a wrap on the day. We ended up with a really nice pike. Not always the target species, but as far as muskies go, you're going to get what you get. And we had our chances today, guys.
Yes, we did.
But unfortunately, or fortunately, if you guys like pike, the pike was basically the star of the show today, but it was a really nice pike. So we'll take that. So I enjoyed the day, fellas. That was fun. I had a good day, even though we didn't get the one we wanted, but we've seen a lot of fish, and I think you guys will be set up for a pretty good week here at Temple Bay. And for another video where Dave and I have a pike star above the muskie, check out the link right here. And until next time, 54 Busters out of here. We'll catch you guys out on the water later.